Good afternoon, welcome. How are you feeling? How was the morning? Yeah? Come on, a little bit more excitement. Come on. Yeah! There you go. There we go. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us today. And for the first of a series of breakout sessions for the rest of the day, we want you to keep up with this energy. We're excited to engage with you and to share a bit more about what we talked about this morning. So, by way of introduction, my name is Jennifer. I am a product marketer here at DeepL. I work on our Translate product, and I'm joined by two fabulous members of our product team, Dicle and Mery. Today, we're here to talk to you more about personalization in the context of your translator experience. So, with that, let's get into the overview for today's session. As an agenda, we'd love to talk to you a little bit about our current innovations in the personalization space, including the glossary and the glossary generator, as touched on by Christopher today, including a demo shared by Mery. And then we're going to talk about the future of personalization and give you a sneak peek into what we're investing in with Dicle. And after that, we're going to leave plenty of time for questions and answers, because I can already tell from lunch you have many of them, and we're here to answer them. All right. With that, let's recap. Why personalization? So as Christopher, our Vice President of Product, mentioned this morning, personalization is crucial to capturing the nuance of your brand consistency. It powers it consistently, especially in global contexts. For many of you working across global teams where you have different native languages, you need to be able to speak in one company language. And that's where personalization comes into play. And it also comes where it matters most, in revenue growth. To recap, it has been consistently cited that brand consistency has been shown to help increase your brand revenue by 20% or more. These are the increases, this is the growth that sets your company apart from others in your industry, especially in these hyper-competitive landscapes that many of us see right now. So, how does your company take advantage of this growth powered by personalization? Well, we'd love to share a few things that we're working on here at DeepL, and I'd love to hand it over to Mery to share more.
Thank you, Jen. Hi, everyone. My name is Mery, and I'm the Technical Product Manager for the Glossary and Customizations team here at DeepL. So I want to talk to you about the glossaries. Glossaries have been designed to help maintain consistency in communications. They have been used across industries by customers to manage and adapt their corporate language. So they are the key personalization layer for your companies. Now, what is a glossary? A glossary allows you to specify rules for translating words and short phrases. This is especially useful for nuanced translations that include, for example, brand terms, technical jargon, or company-specific terminology. Now, let's look at a couple of examples. So say you always want to make sure to abbreviate words such as artificial intelligence to AI. Or say in the technical context, when you have a technical word that has multiple synonyms, and you want to make sure that that is always translated in the same way. For example, primary key to index. Glossaries are also very smart, so they adapt based on the context of your translations, rather than following a simple search and replace method. So in this example here, you can see the verb to work is used twice in the sentence, but it's only being replaced in the later part of it. That is because the context provides all the information that the glossary needs to ensure that the term is applied only when relevant. Another advantage of the glossaries is that they can be shared across various teams within your company. So from marketing to legal to localization, this will help scale and maintain consistency in communications with teams that have different needs, but then also scale it across your whole company. Now, I've discussed what glossaries are and why you should use them, but now let's get into how you can get started and actually create them. So there are currently two main ways to create glossaries. One of them is to just manually add term by term through our interface. The second option is to upload a CSV file that you have maybe prepared internally and you have maintained and updated consistently. Now, there is a brand new way to create glossaries, which is the Glossary Generator. And that is you let us create these glossaries for you. All you need is a document and the translated version of that file. And we will then extract the rules for you and create a glossary that you can use in your translations. So let's see that in action. I'm going to switch over to the demo that I have here. So hopefully you can see that. Perfect. So hopefully you're familiar with the translator interface. So this is the DeepL UI. And here what I've done is I have my glossaries enabled. So here I've created my first glossary with some examples that I've mentioned earlier from English to German. So you can have as many terms as you need in as many language pairs as you want. So in this case, I've created a few here, and as I mentioned, I can continue to add more using the interface, or I can upload a file. Now, let's get into the generation aspect. So if I click on Generate, this is the Glossary Generator, and as I mentioned, it allows you to submit some files so that then we can extract the rules for you. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll give myself a glossary name. So in this case, road bike maintenance glossary, because maybe that's what's relevant for my business or my catalog. And then I select the language pair. So in this case, I have German to English. Then, as I mentioned, I need a source language and a target language, which in this case is German and English. And my source file will be any document that I might have in my organization that might be useful for context, and the translated version of that file. So as I said here. So if I upload the files and click Submit, we'll process those documents and analyze your data to understand what are the relevant terms that you might need in a glossary later on. So once that's done, you'll receive an email like this one, explaining that we have found 9 potential translation rules for your glossary that is from German to English. And you can now review the terms and decide which ones you keep and which ones you don't want, and why we have selected them. So if we go ahead and review the entries, you'll see the reviewing page in which we add all the terms that we have extracted, so the 9 terms that were mentioned, together with some examples and a relevance score. So the examples will help you to understand where these terms have been extracted from in your text. And the relevance score will give you a level of confidence for us to have extracted those terms. So as you can see here, this is not only how often the words appear in your text, but it's also how relevant they are within your context. So here you can edit the terms, you can remove them, and once you're happy with them, you can go ahead and generate a glossary and go to the web translation and see the magic of it. So here, I've translated some text in German, and I see all of the terms that have been extracted for me applied in my glossary in my translation. So that's the end of the demo. I hope that was insightful and you give it a try. And I'll hand over to Jen for personalization.
Thank you so much, Mery. I don't know about you, but I've never seen road bike maintenance that interesting. Thank you so much for that wonderful demo of the glossary. Now that we've talked a bit about some of the innovations we currently have at DeepL, I would love to hand it over to Dicle to tell us about what's coming next. There you go, Dicle.
Thank you, Jen. Hi, everyone. My name is Dicle, and I'm a product manager working on the Translate product here at DeepL. And I would like to talk with you about what might come next when it comes to personalization in DeepL Translate. Sorry. So let's first talk about the case of translating to understand. From extensive user research, we know that many of you use DeepL to get value out of your translated text faster. And you want to do this to understand the text and make key decisions. We know that translation isn't just about converting words from one language to another, but it's about grasping those nuances to make informed decisions and critical choices. So let's imagine we have a European tax consultant based in Japan, and he's working with a client who's looking to expand their operations to Japan. They're based in Europe. And this tax consultant has been asked to look into this very extensive Japanese report to give insights to their customer. But they only have 10 minutes. Time is of the essence. How can we streamline this workflow? So at DeepL, we're focusing on opportunities to accelerate this process without compromising accuracy. This way, professionals like our tax consultant can efficiently extract that information, provide it to their client to make informed decisions quickly. Second, let's explore the case of editing your translations. In addition to translating to understand, we know that many of you today use DeepL to create content, whether that's legal documentation, marketing materials, or internal communications. And it's crucial for all of you that this content is appropriate to the context and to the audience that you're serving. So one of the key tools that we have today that I know many of you use in your workflows is our alternatives feature. Alternatives feature allows you to choose the right words in your translations to fit your translations to your context. We want to keep enhancing this experience for all of you. Our goal is to provide precise and relevant alternatives, making your translations even more tailored to your needs. But alongside alternatives, we're also looking into new opportunities to allow you to edit your translations more efficiently and effectively, and to empower you to produce professional content, even if you're not a native speaker or fluent speaker of the target language. So we're committed to providing those resources to you that makes this process more efficient and effective. And lastly, we recognize that all of your companies have specific strategies and guidelines when it comes to communication within your companies. And this extends beyond phrases and terms, which we're doing a great job with our glossaries. But they also include preferred tones or styles that reflect your brand identity. So how can DeepL support that and enable you to manage that more efficiently? We're looking into opportunities to allow you to embed your communication strategies into DeepL, to use your brand's voice across all of your communications. This not only saves time for all of you and your teams, but ensures that you and your teams are aligned when it comes to your brand. So these are a few areas that I wanted to talk about in terms of what we're looking into when it comes to the future of personalization at DeepL. And we would love to continue understanding this from your perspectives. And we would love you to have a say in it and engage with us through our customer research panel. So if these examples resonated with you, they were interesting to you, please use this QR code to sign up to our customer research panel. And we would love to speak with you more and learn how we can support your workflows in your companies.
Thank you so much, both Dicle and Mery. Give them all a round of applause, please. Thank you.